The old library stood at the edge of town. It was a looming presence, shrouded in shadows even on the sunniest days. Its stone walls were cracked and weathered, stained with the dampness of ages. Ivy, thick and gnarled, clawed its way up the sides, further obscuring the windows that peered out like vacant eyes. Locals whispered tales of the library, of its curse and the souls trapped within. They said that those who dared enter after sunset were never quite the same. The air around the library always felt heavy, thick with unspoken words and forgotten stories. The scent of decaying paper and dust hung in the air, a musty perfume that spoke of forgotten times. The silence around the library was deceptive, broken only by the rustle of leaves and the occasional screech of a crow. Beneath the surface, whispers seemed to emanate from the very stones, weaving tales of sorrow and regret. Clara, a young woman with a thirst for knowledge and a deep love for books, found herself drawn to the library's enigmatic aura. Legends and warnings did little to deter her curiosity. Instead, they fueled it. She longed to get lost in the library's forgotten aisles, to uncover its secrets and unravel the mysteries hidden within its heart. One chilly autumn evening, as the sun began its descent, casting long shadows across the town, Clara decided to brave the library's mysteries. She pushed open the heavy oak doors, their hinges groaning in protest, and stepped inside. The air within was cold and still, thick with the smell of dust and decay. She shivered, but her resolve didn't waver. She was determined to uncover the truth behind the whispers. Clara wandered through the labyrinthine aisles, her fingers trailing along the spines of forgotten books. The shelves seemed to stretch on forever, crammed with volumes bound in leather and ancient tongues. The silence was broken only by the sound of her own footsteps and the occasional whisper that seemed to slither from the shadows. She stumbled upon a hidden door, concealed behind a tapestry depicting a forgotten battle. Curiosity piqued, she pushed the tapestry aside and found a small, dusty room. A single book lay open on a pedestal in the center, its pages filled with swirling script that seemed to writhe and shift before her eyes. The book pulsed with an unnatural energy, drawing Clara in. As Clara reached out to touch the book, the whispers intensified. They swirled around her, growing louder, more insistent. The shadows in the room seemed to writhe and lengthen, taking on grotesque shapes that reached for her with grasping claws. Fear, cold and sharp, pierced through her. She tried to step back, but the whispers held her fast. The air grew thick and heavy, making it difficult to breathe. The room seemed to shrink, the walls closing in. The whispers were no longer just whispers. They were voices filled with anger, sorrow, and despair. They pleaded with her, threatened her, and begged for her help. Clara felt herself being pulled down, dragged into the darkness that seemed to emanate from the book itself. Clara closed her eyes, her heart pounding against her ribs. She took a deep breath and forced herself to think. She couldn't let fear consume her. These voices, these whispers, they were the key to escaping this prison of shadows. She needed to understand, to listen. "I hear you," she whispered back, her voice trembling slightly. "Tell me your stories." As she spoke, the shadows seemed to hesitate, the whispers quieting slightly. She repeated her words, her voice gaining strength. "I promise to listen, I promise to remember." A path cleared, the shadows retreating slightly. Clara, clutching the memory of their pleas, fled the hidden chamber. She didn't stop running until she burst through the library doors and into the cool night air. The whispers faded, but she knew they were not gone. They were etched into her soul, a constant reminder of the library's hold. From that day forward, Clara dedicated herself to fulfilling her promise. She wrote down the stories the whispers revealed, tales of love and loss, of betrayal and sorrow. The library, though, never truly released her. Its presence lingered, a shadow in the corner of her eye, a whisper on the edge of hearing. She knew that some stories are best left untold, some doors better left unopened. But she also knew the importance of remembering, of giving voice to the silenced and light to the forgotten. The library may have been cursed, but in its heart it held a treasure trove of stories. Stories that Clara, the listener, the rememberer, was destined to share with the world.